Our thoughts are produced by our mental bodies. And that's why our physical brain manifests this into the physical reality. The mental bodies that we have, they're not just thought-generating machines. They're not there just to generate thoughts. We are our mental bodies. It is a vehicle for consciousness. When we talk about our mental bodies, the mental bodies of humans, we can see them divided into two: the lower mental body and the upper mental body. The lower mental body is the body that generates the thoughts, the reality, as in our lives on earth. Mundane thoughts, thoughts regarding what we do, what we eat, who we are in this current incarnation. Lots of our passions and desires are there as well. So when we like someone, or when we have a crush on someone, or when we are craving some foods or thinking about our debts, all of that is being generated or held in that mental body. Now, the upper mental body is that body where we have our ideals, our perception of life beyond the physical incarnation. It's where we have true love, long past memories. We don't have anything mundane. For example, we don't have memories of anger in there. There's no anger, there's no trauma, there is no desire in the upper mental body. If you are psychic, a clairvoyant more precisely, and you can see someone's mental body, you'll see that if they have high ideals, if they are a person in the path of altruism and compassion and benevolence, you see that their mental bodies look like a upside down pear. It's much larger on this side, and you can see that their lower mental bodies are much narrower. For those people whose thoughts concerns mostly their mundane life, or lots of addiction or desire, or their fights and rows, you'll see that it's much larger at the bottom, like a pear as it is. We divide these mental bodies because they actually look like two different parts of one person. Now we're going to talk about the mental bodies of animals. But before talking about their mental bodies, we need to understand a little bit of what is a group soul. All animals of planet Earth, so we're talking about insects and mammals and birds and fish, they are part of what we call a group soul. There are many animals who are individualized. They are not part of these group souls, but we're going to talk about that later. A group soul is a blob of mental matter, a piece of cloud of mental matter that will animate an animal when they incarnate, when they are here on Earth. So let's say that you are thinking of a mouse. A mouse, like mice, they are part of what we call a group soul, meaning that there's a soul, one soul, for many, many mice. So there's a small quantity of this group soul, that mental matter, which is going to animate this mouse. So this mouse is going to have a mental body while it is incarnated on planet Earth. They have a mental body, they have an astral body, and they have their etheric bodies. When this mouse dies, their etheric body is going to be absorbed by the etheric currents. Their astral bodies are going to dissolve into the astral plane, and the mental body that they have is going to go back to that blob of mental matter, which we call a group soul. That mental body that they had whilst alive is going to go back to the group soul and bring to the group soul all of the experiences that that mouse had. Let's say that that mouse had experiences that were very much, let's say, simple. They just had any simple life, very primitive, nothing different. They were just in the same forest, eating the same things, and then they died, they will not then enrich the group soul. But, and that's funny, let's say that this particular mouse found someone found the mouse, and they took care of the mouse, and they gave the mouse different food, and the mouse had a different experience and just interacting and doing lots of different things, different from of what most mice do. So when that mouse dies, that which was its mental body, when going to the group soul, will enrich, will make that group soul more complex. Imagine that this is happening across all species, all animals. Because some animals in the same group soul are having much complex lives and they're doing more and evolving more during earthly life, parts of this group soul starts separating from the other ones. So let's say that within this mice group soul, there's all of the matter for simple mice, and there's like a different part, a different blob, just for the mice who have more complex lives. So this group soul here, because it's so complex, they start animating more complex animals. Obviously, nature will not give leaps, so they will start animating different mice or hamsters, maybe rats, animals that are more complex in terms of their mental capacities. There's a time when the matter of this part of the group soul is so, as I said, complex, because it had collected so much experience that it starts experiencing some influence from the monad. The monad is what we are. It's the part of God that is us. This monad needs to be encapsulated by other bodies in order to experience and expand. So let's say that the monad is that little part of God. So that monad needs a vehicle to experience life, to expand to another plane of reality, and then they are encapsulated by the Atman. The Atman is going to be encapsulated by a mental body, and the mental body is going to be encapsulated by the astral body, and the astral body encapsulated by the physical body. All of these are vehicles, but the monad is not a vehicle. What the monad does is that the monad is influencing these group souls in order to finally get an animal there that will individualize. The animals who individualize during life are the most complex animals: elephants, dogs, cats, horses, etc. If the human who is interacting with the animal is treating the animal well and they are loving each other, the animal is going to individualize, meaning that that mental body that animates them is going to literally encapsulate, become one entity with a shell around it. It's no longer going back to the group soul. So when the animal dies, that mental part of the animal is not going to migrate back to the big mental matter blob. Now it's a vehicle for the monad. So the monad is inside the Atman, so we understand here, and then the Atman in this mental body. And then they have the astral body, and it's not going to change for a good while. We humans, we have what we can see, two different bodies, two mental bodies, right? It looks like two different ones. As we progress spiritually and as we grow morally and we become more altruistic, one of the bodies starts shrinking. The upper one starts to getting much brighter and bigger. Eventually, we're not going to have the lower mental body anymore. For animals here on Earth, they only have one mental body, which is similar to our lower mental body. So it's a body that is concerned with instinct and daily routines, food, life, limited thoughts. Eventually, when these animals evolve to another species that is not a human, but it's in something in between, another plane of another planet maybe, then they will start having their mental bodies divided. It's going to look like they are divided. Even though they are kind of one, it looks like they are divided. But for fish and birds, because they do not incarnate as humans ever, as in they will never be humans, so never a fish will become a human on this planet or any other planet, and a bird will never become a human, their mental bodies look different as well. They look like one big mental body, and that body starts improving or changing naturally as it is. They're not going to divide, they're just going to get better and better and better. All animals have a mental body. The difference is that some of them are going to have their mental bodies going back to the big mass of mental matter, whereas others, they will have their own mental body, no longer being diluted in the big mass of mental matter.